But just how big was the weekend, and just a sense of I suppose euphoria, elation, winning that game on Saturday.
Yeah, obviously a really proud moment for this team. Obviously it'd been 60 odd years since we got a result at Ellis Park, so huge occasion, and we've been talking a lot about how we're trending in the right direction, and that was another step, but it doesn't mean much if we don't back it up this weekend, and what we're expecting. The Springboks are world class. We saw what they did in the first 20 minutes. They tore us to shreds, so we know that they're coming, and they're coming hard. We've got to back it up. But to answer your question, it was a great feeling in that change room. Particularly after a disappointing Lions result for the series, to start the TRC in that way, it was massive.
What were your thoughts after that first 18 minutes when they put up that big, those guys at the start and at the start, and how do you guys feel at that point?
Well, I wasn't out there, but on the bench, we were obviously in a bit of shock. They went bang, bang, bang pretty quick, and the way that they scored their tries, through width, through skill, and through power, exactly what they're famous for. I guess Joe could probably speak more to about it, but the way that we stuck in the fight was something I was really proud of from the bench. It looked like we always had that belief, even though you're standing there after 18 minutes and it's 22-0. But the fight that we showed to stay in there, and the resolve we showed, and the way we've clawed our way back into that second quarter in particular, was something we can be really proud of.
Can you get Joe?
The first 18 minutes was it was quite frantic, like what Tate was saying, the power they've shown, the skill. Really proud of the way we, handled that situation, and then from there on, for the rest of the game, we're very, very good, I thought.
Joseph, were you surprised, if I can call it that the box dropped off in, especially that last, I'd say, 15 minutes, where you guys opened the game, and people always speak about altitude and how it benefits Springboks towards the end of games, but you guys found a new wind, and the box was just dropping off. I think it was you who ran through, and no one could get to you guys, any of you guys.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say they dropped off. I thought that we had a great fight. That first 18 minutes was like a whirlwind, but after that we were, we stuck to what we could do, what we could focus on, and honestly, we're just real proud of the way we, fought back into the game and then finished off the game. So, yeah. And
you played against quite a couple of test experienced backs in the box side. Arguably, they would be even stronger this weekend. Just what have you made about that contest?
Yeah, well, it's exciting for myself. You're going against some of the best players in the world. We're exciting for us as a backline to test ourselves. It was a great battle last week, but this week will be very exciting too. So just focusing on what we can do throughout the week, and just watch film and just see different things, and just bring our best game for Saturday.
And have you had an outside training yet, or are you still going? And what are you making of? Cape Town a bit colder at this moment than it was up there in Johannesburg.
Yeah, well, we haven't trained yet. We travelled yesterday, and today will be our first on-feet session. So, like I said, just focusing on today, and then for Saturday.
Joseph just scored your first try in a Wallaby jersey in that match, and just talk us through how special it was to have that moment, especially at the moment in the game that closed the gap to, I think, 2 or 3 points. And then also just, a lot has been said about the history between the two teams, especially at Ellis Park. I mean, was that any part of the conversation leading up to the game? Were you talking about, we haven't won there in 63 years or whatever, or was that something that only you were aware about afterwards?
Yeah, as a team, it was something that was known. It's always special when something hasn't happened for a while, so there was also that extra carrot, but I think just for us as a group, we're just building. Especially from the Lions, our last win, and then coming into that first game against the Springboks. So very special that it's happened. I think it was 62 years. So being able to do it as a team, but like I said, like we've been saying, it's just been really focusing on this week. But yeah, also to try, it's pretty cool to score a try, my first try for the Wallabies. Special moment.
So just to have you in the room, can I ask you to just reflect a little bit about all the expectation that was on you? I mean, when you made the switch, you were a big name and everybody was kind of focusing on you. How's that whole journey? How did that journey go for you?
Yeah, I've always said it. The game of rugby is just not. It's just not me. There's 23 players that are playing. Actually, no, there's more. You've got the whole training week with the players that don't get picked, and then you've got coaches and everyone. So it's just not me. I look at myself. Kind of obviously there's talk around it, but at the end of the day, it's a team sport. So that's how I just see it. I don't really see it as pressure on me. It's how can I be best for the team. So that's how I see it.
So you obviously would have gotten a lot of confidence from this victory. In the bigger picture, how much does it mean for Australian rugby going forward, and especially with the World Cup looming?
Yeah, well, like I said, the last we weren't very disappointed that we didn't win that Lions series, but the way we played in the second and third game, and then our first game against the Springboks is it's all part of a process towards that World Cup. But we're really just focused on each game and just growing, and I believe we are. So I'm enjoying it. I feel like everyone else is as well.
What do you expect this week from the Boks?
Oh yeah, they'll come out firing. We know that. After a loss, you tend to, lick your wounds, and they'll be the same what they were in the first 18 minutes, but I reckon for the whole 80. So we got to be at our best, and we will be.
So 10 years since you guys won the Rugby Championship, how's the feeling in the squad about getting it done this year?
Still early days, mate. Very, very early days. For us, we like Joe's saying, we're very process driven, and the only thing we're looking at is this fixture in Cape Town. For us, we're on a journey. Respect's earned daily for us, and we've got to continue to earn that respect, and also give our supporters, not only in Australia but across the globe, something to cheer about. And that's why we're trying to try and do that.
Are you turning into a specialist wing these days?
Who knows? Again, we found ourselves in that situation where I'm looking at the other back on the bench going, is it me and you? And I've got the tap. So, it's something I really enjoy. I just like playing rugby, and when you don't have to be in there passing every time or box kicking, it's something I love to do, run. So we'll see how we go.
Just speaking to that, I mean, how influential is Schmidt in all of this? Is he? He's beaten a lot of top teams before when he was with Ireland. Is he as much of a genius as perhaps Russie is? Do you get a sense of a special rugby man when you work with him?
Well, I'm not going to compare the two because I don't know Russie, and I've obviously never had him as a coach. But Joe's been fantastic for this group. I've been in a position where I've had a number of Wallabies coaches, and they've all been different and all brought different stuff to the table. But Joe's attention to detail has been phenomenal for this group. The way he's moulded a group that hasn't had a lot of success in the past together, and some of the results over the past 24 months that he's been able to achieve has been pretty special, and it's been a pleasure to be a part of it. So we're very fortunate to have him here, and all the boys work hard and listen to everything he says, because he's got gold, little nuggets for us every single day, and that's what's been so good to be a part of the journey, because you're genuinely in this environment getting better.
Tate, then transitioning to the new coach after the Rugby Championship, how do you think the boys will take that?
I don't think Joe steps away until mid next year. But yeah, I mean, that's a boat will or that's a river will cross when it comes to it. But they've got a plan in place, and I don't think Joe will be too far away.
So the game might be totally different here in Cape Town. We're expecting a lot of rain for the latter part of this week. We always look at the Saturday weather because some of us can't go play golf if it's too rainy. But Do you feel you guys, with the forward performance that you put up, that you will be in Joburg, that you will be ready if the game becomes a lot tighter, if the ball is wet?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you watched our last test against the Lions. It was torrential rain. So we've had a little bit of experience this year in playing in those conditions, and like you said, whenever you're going up against the Boks, your forward pack have got to be brilliant, and they were very good on the weekend. The challenge for them is then repeating that. Knowing guys like Etzebeth and these kind of guys are going to be absolutely raring to go. So it's going to be a great challenge for those guys, and they're going to need to step up again.
Happy in the room? Yep. Guys, we've got time for a couple online. Johnny, I can see you've got your hand up patiently, mate. If you have something for the boys.
Yeah, Joseph, how you going? Mate, I was just wondering, when you were a young fella, Penrith, RSL, could you imagine like being able to line up the anthem, Ellis Park, packed atmosphere, and getting a win like that for the Wallabies? Do you think those international experiences could have helped those young kids, all over Australia, maybe want to make that switch to Union now just to have that experience?
Yes, yeah. I've honestly enjoyed, coming over to South Africa for the first time, and then, even just experiencing, what the life in South Africa, and especially in Joburg, what it's like around there. You onto a safari, and then, that whole week training that, a different altitude is a whole different experience. I think as a young kid, myself, growing up, that was something I really wanted to do, was, travel the world and play in different countries and go against the best. And then, playing at Ellis Park, my family in the crowd, my partner's family in the crowd, nothing beats it. And then, to get the win was, it was a very special moment for, this team, my family, and myself. So, I really enjoyed the whole week, and then, just enjoying Cape Town now. So, enjoying it.
Mate, very short career so far, but would that be the highlight, mate? You scored a try, beat world champions. Is that as good as it's got for you so far?
Honestly, I've really enjoyed my whole experience so far. Playing at Twickenham and then playing at Ellis Park and then going against the Lions. It's pretty hard to say which one's the best, but honestly, just enjoying every single part of what rugby union brings.
Thanks, Jamie.
I think he's on mute.
Sorry, Jamie, you might be on mute, mate.
Thanks, lads. Cheers.
Can you go first?
Yeah, so
you just spoke before. Yeah, you just spoke before, Joseph, about expecting, the Springboks best for 80 minutes, and it's like they are a daunting team. Is there any fear factor within your camp around what's coming on Saturday from them?
No fear, I reckon. In my opinion, no fear. We're just focused on ourselves. That's what we can do. We know they're going to bring their best for 80 minutes, so we just got to prepare for 90.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, just two quick ones from me. First of all, for Tate, mate, the impact that you've kind of been really having off the bench has been noted by so many people, and the impact and the energy that you bring. I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about kind of working in tandem, particularly with someone like Whitey who's been absolutely killing it on the starting side. Talk to me about the value and the work of kind of working off the bench, and particularly when you are coming up in a hostile environment, like South Africa, and that headspace for you and that role, kind of being off the bench compared to working with a starter.
Yeah, it's obviously a role I've had a lot of practice in last year and this year, and it's a role I'm really enjoying. Obviously, to match Whitey's energy is difficult. He bounces around and he pushes and shoves and stuff like that. But my job is just to try and come on and change the game. Obviously, when I'm coming on, there's quite a bit of fatigue in the big boys' legs out there, and I've just got to make sure that I get them clear on the plan. That's all I've been trying to do, and I won't change the game every game, but that's what I'm trying to do. And it starts with obviously how I communicate with the boys. how I maybe bring them down, after a big, win like a runaway try or something like that. How we can then get to our next action, and from there, I'm just looking to play my game, which is taking on people around the fringes and or creating space for other people. And that's been the goal. It's obviously been great to work with Jakey at the start, and then Whitey, and like you said, Whitey's been playing fantastic over the last 2 weeks. So it's been great to see someone who probably shouldn't have retired because he's been playing so well. So it's I'm really happy for him. He obviously didn't get too many games last year, but this year he's definitely taken his opportunities with poor old Jakey's injury, and it's great to have a leader like him in our side.
Time for one more online if there's anything that hasn't been asked.
Yeah, for Joseph. Obviously, mate, I know that. Just for you, Joseph, I know I love that your answer about kind of talking about how rugby as a whole, the entire journey as well, has kind of been the highlight, not just the results, not just the wins. Just out of curiosity, because I know you're someone who really likes to focus on that personal growth, that development, always getting better, always learning. Where does 2025 at the moment sit for Joseph the human, Joseph the player, Joseph the individual, the person? Where does it sit for you in general?
What do you mean? So
Sorry?
I'm not sure what you're trying to ask. Like, are you trying to ask me what's for me, enjoying the year, or
more like your growth as a player, your growth as a person? Is the kind of the lessons that you're learning playing international rugby and professional rugby something that is the thing that you're getting the most joy out of, or is it the day-to-day camaraderie? Where is the biggest growth for you as a person?
I think the biggest growth is the travel, traveling away from family, creating friendships with, teammates. I feel like that's been a big thing too. Being in league, you're in a different environment, and then coming across, I feel like you live with the boys here, and they become your family away from your family. So I'm really enjoying just building different relationships and experiencing different things in different countries with your best mates. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of my personal growth. And then I'm 22 years old now, so I'm just enjoying what the game of rugby brings, going to South Africa and then playing against the Lions, and then just traveling the world. I feel like that's something that every young kid wants to do as a kid. So just enjoying the dream that's been created.